Good evening, people of Earth. See if anybody comes in. This is Sunday Night Live. Wasn't able to do Saturday Night Live. Thor, what's up? Big Rich, how are you doing? Food Mooch, welcome back. Thor, you're second. Trucker Seals, how's it going? Nate Tess, yo, TJ Boulder Woods, Angel Pool, CPAP, Big Rich, Thomas Wilson, Battleborn, Stu Manchu. Let me grab my glasses here. So, why did I title this Earthquake? Because I'm here at the Missouri Welcome Center on I-55, exit 41. And it's the New Madrid. Yukon, what's up? You snowed in yet? I remember those winters of living in upstate New York, that lake effect snow. Of course, they didn't call it lake effect snow back then. I'll keep that light on. Anthony, what's up? Rick Jones. Anyways, this place is kind of cool. It's got the seismograph things decorating the building and everything. Weird Racing, what's up? And they got the all the facts of the New Madrid fault. Jeffrey Like, long time no see. Jenny in the house. Jonathan, Yukon. You're never snowed in. I've got a brother-in-law that works for the Turnpike there, Authority in New York. Man, their snow plows are massive there. But do we have twin beds or full? Ace, I'm not sure. It depends on the sleeper. I know that the mattresses are a little bit bigger in the Kenworth. Brent in Florida, what's up? Larry Fisher. Alex Express, what's up?
You have 2 hours and 40
I got lucky today. My load was ready early. Wish I had gone pick it up even earlier than I did because there was snow on the trailer, so I knew it'd been sitting there a minute. And hey Jonathan, what's up? And anyways, I do my 500 miles tomorrow. I'll have a good check this week. Louisville, Kentucky. Hey, get driving. You have 2 hours and 45 minutes. I do, don't I? You heard that. No, I'm not in Oklahoma, Air Vaquero. I'm on the New Madrid Fault in Missouri. That's where the earthquake thing comes through. So, if you guys want to ask me anything, this live feed's kind of pointless tonight. Figured I'd occupy your time. I know Sunday night drives can be kind of long and boring. Yeah, I am reading fast. I got the glasses on. I got new glasses coming in the mail. I actually got sunglasses that are prescription coming in. I've been trying for over a week and still can't get my profile photos to show up. Not sure what I'm missing. I don't know, Brent. Big Rich says I look smart in these glasses. Fooled you. Why did you awake for this? CPAP, that doesn't even make sense. Why did I awake for this? I don't know. CPAP. How many instruments can I play? I can play 3. I can play guitar, I can play bass, I can play drums. Although I haven't played drums in quite a while. There is an album that I'm on. It's actually, no, it's just the one album. And I love playing drums. Interesting weekend on YouTube. Yeah, Thor. I was listening to Matt's live feed before Jeffrey went on, and I thought it was interesting that we're still making a big deal about Will and Matt and Sinister. And you know, to me, guys, it's all just digital noise, man. I've talked about that before. You know, it's some YouTubers are cool, some YouTubers are annoying, some YouTubers you just, you know, like you know, it's, there's some YouTubers going about it all wrong, and their subscriptions kind of reflect that, and their views kind of reflect that. Did you not see Sinister's live feed last night? No, Thor. I don't follow Sinister. I stopped following Sinister a long time ago. You know, nothing against the guy, but you know, I just it didn't interest me. Alex asks, who's my favorite guitar player? I don't know. That's kind of a loaded question. One of my biggest influences is Chuck Schuldiner, James Hetfield, Scott Ian. I'm more into the rhythm guys. Jeff Loomis is a god. And I'm sure out of all those guys, you've only heard like a couple of them. You and Jay Cannell could jam together. Richard Viking. You know who's really good on guitar player is Steve Berger. Where are you at with T-shirt on? Most of the country frozen. Just trucking. I was in that frozen tundra there in Ohio. I'm now in the Boot Heel in Missouri, and it's not so bad. It's in the 40s. So nice to be above freezing. But yeah, Thor. I was listening to Matt talk about the Sinister video, and you know, and here's the thing, guys. Hey, Next Gen, what's up? You should probably check it out, brother, if it's still up. It was really, really good. He finally broke his silence over the last 3 years of stuff that's happened since Night Nation. Yeah, that's what I heard. Oh, Trey Azathoth from Morbid Angel is killer. Yeah, I agree. He's pretty good. The new Morbid Angel's pretty good. You know, there's something about their style I really like. Yukon says Jimi Hendrix. Do you prefer Telecaster or Fender? I'm not a big Fender fan. Oh, Nate just already asked me that. Telecaster is a Fender, right? The only Fenders that I appreciate are the ones Iron Maiden plays. But I'm not a huge Fender fan. Now, with that being said, I bought one. My son's first guitar was a Fender, but he hasn't really taken a liking to the guitar as much as I did. If you want to see a good guitar player, Manelli Jamel, it's not rock or anything, but that man is about the best I've seen. You 3 or 4 guys are kiss ass to Jeffrey. Yeah, you might have taken it out, but it's all good and all is well. Good, Thor. It's good to see positive energy out there. And I'd like to think that we all have a big piece of that, part of that. You know, being positive is, you know, trucking is just so negative. The world is just so negative, and it's like, you know, I really don't care if Matt and Will are friends or are not friends anymore. I don't care what Will does on his private time. I don't care who what any of these other YouTubers are doing, to be honest with you. You know, we all kind of stay in our own lane and do our own thing, and that's what we do. When they're doing vlogs, I like them. I like the drone footage that Will does sometimes. I like the vlog style that Matt does sometimes. You know, I like the flower power thing that Ike's doing. I like the music videos Thor does. You know, and I like the whiteboard sessions that Jeff puts out. So, how long does it take to arrange a music piece for you? Alex, that varies. Some songs almost write themselves. The only way I can describe it is that when you're feeling the vibe, when things are just right, it's like a storm. It's like a perfect storm. And it's almost like you're pulling it out of the air. And if it feels like in the band that we're forcing it, then we stop, because that's where you get mediocre music, is if you're trying to force it. You know, that's why a lot of bands, their sophomore albums aren't as good, because, you know, their first album, you know, it took their lifetime to write, and the second album, you know, the record label's like, hey, you got to get this out within a year, so it sounds kind of forced. You know, music needs to be organic, you know. So I hope that answers your question. Hey Denise, what's up? Yukon is a Fender fan. Yukon's got like 100 guitars. I've only got like 6. Yeah, Trucker Jim's pretty good, Barry. Scotty D is pretty good. Scotty D wears like one of them head cam things. Do you carry a guitar in your truck, Ira? No, I used to. Steve Berger and I were talking about this the other day. My wife bought me a beater guitar, because you don't want to take a nice guitar in the truck. And Tascam makes these, you know, they're like an MP3 player. It's called Guitar Trainer. Has like an amp inside the headphones, and you can play along with songs. And I got that set up, and I had it in the truck for me for a while, but once I became an owner operator, I found myself not having time to do that. Which is kind of ironic, because when I was with Landstar, it seemed like I had a lot of free time. So, but I didn't have room in the Peterbilt for it. $156 guitars Yukon has. Wow. How do you keep track of that? Daniel Nottingham, what's up? Hey Daniel, I meant to call you. I'll probably call you tomorrow when I'm not driving. It's probably tomorrow night. Yeah. What's your favorite part in composing? I don't know, man. It's just when the music comes. I don't know. That's kind of a hard question to answer. When you have a riff that sticks in your head. And, you know, I give it the morning test. You know, the morning test is, you know, let's say we write a song and I record it, you know, on a little recorder. And the next morning, I'll listen to it with headphones, and I'll try to feel it. I'll try to feel it. And if it's there, then it's there. If that makes any sense. So, Neil that says Scotty's a guy that's different taste, strange Cali sense of humor. Yeah. I'm trying to figure out that accent that he has. He's got some kind of accent I can't quite picture. He does his own thing though. He's not into all the drama and all the different groups and stuff like that. I need to pick up the bass, says Anthony T again. I haven't played in 10 years after having CT surgery. I'm not understanding, Neil, that, hey, you could kiss worse people's ass than Jeffrey likes. Snorlord, Professor Snorlord tonight, says Benjamin Duke. Yeah, I got the glasses on. I don't think it's really helping, to be honest with you. so I don't squint. Rickenbacker bass, 4003 for me, a Fender Strat. Man, those Rickenbacker basses are just huge. When I played bass, I'm all about Ibanez when it comes to bass. They're all documented and insured. Most are in cases. Many are hanging, and some reside in custom-made humidor. Oh, that's cool. Is it hard to find a hook in your new arranging? No, I've got a really good guitar player, and we bounce well off each other. He was a member of Apnea for a long time, and then he left for a minute. And he and I have always clicked pretty good, and he's really good. We take kind of like, I don't know, if you guys are in the underground metal, there's a band called Paradise Lost. There's always a rhythm and a melody going on. And that's kind of the approach we're using with this new band. We work well with each other. And the band is so laid back. We're not aspiring to be rock stars. We're not trying to go on tour. We're not trying to get a label. All that stuff's kind of over with. We just do it for the love of music. And he's really good. My wife plays bass. She does a good job. And then there's our drummer is a guy that I've known for many years. Our old bands have played together all the time, and he could actually play the Apnea stuff if he wanted to, but we wanted to kind of take a new direction. Everybody's laughing at TRC, Truck and Review Channel. When I play, it's like a chalkboard fast. Larry Fisher, I play bass, but prefer trout. I prefer bass over trout. I'm not black enough to play bass. Yukon, you don't have to be black to play bass. Watch Good Guitar Vid this week. Keith Urban pulled a young fellow named Rob Joyce out of the crowd to play, and he did great. Do you like fusing styles or genres in your music? Alex, in a way, we kind of do. I had an old band called Cyanide Rainbow back in the early 90s. And we tried to incorporate different stuff. There's some underground bands called Atheist and Cynic that did a lot of like weird jazz fusion pieces in metal. And then there was a Christian metal band called Believer that incorporated a lot of classical music. And Yukon's probably heard Believer. And then you got a band like My Dying Bride that incorporates like violins. So, I'm pretty open-minded musically. I just don't like a lot of commercial music. So, New Direction, country western? No. Big Rich says, I like the banjo. I love playing guitar, but I still prefer my cello. I know, laugh at the trucker playing a cello. Nothing wrong with that. My daughter plays the cello, Ira. CPAP plays good cowbell. Big Rich, there's a Slipknot psychosocial banjo cover. I played fiddle, broke both arms. No more play. I got a ukulele. Bass player, get all the girls, says Weird Racing. What artists inspire me? Man, dude, I have over like 3,000 CDs. I mean, I've got a lot of music in my system. So it kind of goes with, I guess, the originators of what got me in the metal would be Metallica, Anthrax, Testament, Slayer, Flotsam and Jetsam, Black Sabbath, Stryper. Recently, it's Khemmis, Khemmis. They've been a huge band I've been into. Crowbar. I like a lot of old school death metal, and I like a lot of doom, like Paradise Lost, My Dying Bride. Really slow, depressing stuff. Metallica I still like Metallica. The only album I don't like by Metallica is Reload. That's the only one I don't like. I like Songs Off the Load. Saint Anger would be better if it had better production, but the new album's killer. Big Rich says, I love everything except clown music, like ICP and most rap hip-hop. Yeah, I'm the same way, Big Rich. Insane Clown Posse is just trash. Big Rich, did you ever listen to my cousin's band? You'll have to refresh my memory on that, Big Rich. Depressing music is my favorite. A lot of people like, doesn't that stuff make you want to kill yourself or whatever? No. You know what makes me want to kill myself? Listening to like stuff on the radio that's like popular music. I don't know, like I can't even list like new pop people. I could have the most famous person come up to me that's on all the radio stations right now. I wouldn't know who they are. Ghost Bath. Maybe I did listen to them, Rich. Duran says Agent Orange. What about Five Finger Death Punch? Daniel, they're okay. I'm not... when it comes to underground music, there's a lot of bands that are doing it better. My music taste is kind of weird. It's like I like one band and you think I like another and I don't. It's kind of weird. Larry Fish says Justin Bieber makes me want to slit my throat. See, there you go. Well, that's good, Big Rich, that they're signed and touring in Europe. That's cool. I'm into industrial goth mainly, but listen to different genres. Okay, Anthony, that's cool. Cyndi Lauper will make you want to slit your wrist. Acid Bath. Acid Bath is kind of more noisecore for me. I'm not too much into that. Tesla, I like Tesla. Their first album is great. Modern Day Cowboy, and what's the other song they had that I like? Real energetic. But the radio plays the overplayed stuff. Marilyn Manson's okay. Marilyn Manson's playing in Springfield soon. Mechanical Resonance. That sounds familiar, but I can't quite place them. Agent Orange. Pantera, yeah, of course. Waylon Jennings and Johnny Cash. Big Rich, yes, I like that. Hell, we just bought a couple of Johnny Cash albums for the house. Nailed it. Big Rich, don't affiliate yourself with me. I comment when Jeff and SoCal kiss ass, so I offered my nailed it to Hammer. Hope he feels well. TC is nothing but BS. Rammstein, Nerds is they're okay. The best Rammstein song is Rammstein, however you say it, is Kind Lust, which is a video. They're all in fat suits. That's like the best song. Marianas Trench, I've never heard of them, Kaislin. That's the name of the first Tesla album. Oh, okay. Mechanical Resonance. Okay, that's why it sounds familiar. Trucking Review, I'm not reading that out loud. Avatar is... I'm not really into them, but Ghost I like. Celtic Barb, what's up? Celtic Barb, or... I forget. What's your choice of guitar pedals? Alex, I don't use a whole lot of guitar pedals. I have a noise pedal, noise gate, and a tuner pedal. I just have a really good amp. I've never been into effects. When you hook up a 100-watt amp and put a pedal on it, it just doesn't sound great to me. And very noisy and feedback. I just have real good natural distortion. I use a PV Triple X, which is like kind of similar to a Mesa Boogie. Dual rectifier. Very powerful amp. YouTube won't let me load Rammstein. Yeah. Trucking Review, I was surprised you were able to get Metallica on your video. McGee Films, Five Finger Death Punch. If you like Daft Punk and Manelli Jamel Guy, I said I made a tribute for them called Daft Punk. It's pretty cool. Okay, cool, Ira. My son had a wild run through the snowstorm of Celtic. I kept on the phone with him over hours while he went through the mountains of Vermont, New Hampshire. He almost slid backwards once sliding. Ugh. Panic at the Disco? No. Agent Orange says nothing like Kick-Ass tube amp. Right. Dude, I used to have a Crate 100-watt Stealth tube amp. That was the best amp I ever owned. It was like nothing Crate ever had. It was very similar to a Marshall Moss valve. And it, dude, every band that we played with was just blown away by that amp. And I didn't find another amp close to it till I got the PB triple rectifier, which they don't make anymore. Ace says he wants to get an orange amp. Sorry, I typed Celtic as how to say name. Okay. What's your worst gig ever? Oh, Alex. Oh, man, that would have to go way back. Probably my first gig. I was so nervous. We played all the songs like way too fast. Our drummer was really nervous, so everything was really fast. And we were out of tune, and it's just kind of it was yeah, my first gig. Big Rich says there's nothing wrong with calling people out and disagreeing, nailed it, but maybe leave the Jason hate for Jason's channel. It's a good laugh, but no one wants all the hate all the time. Shadow Wolf says, hey Snorlord, sorry I missed you for coffee a couple days ago. Next time, dude. Shadow Wolf, I was glad to find you on Facebook because, you know, now it's easier to contact you, you know, next time you're in Springfield. Which, by the way, that's the first time I got a real good glimpse of your truck on your video, man. That's a nice truck, dude. So, nerds, yeah, they won't share with us. Need to go to their channel. I was trying to say he was sliding all over the place on the back roads. Could only go about 25, not plowed, going up and down steep grades. He talked to me for hours. Keep going. Well, that's good that you were able to do that. Did you ever play on a PB Viper? Tons of toys for cheap? No, Agent Orange. Most of the amps I've owned have been Crate. I had a, oh man, what was it called? Man, you guys are making me go back now. I can't remember. Gallon Kruger. I had a Gallon Kruger. It was about the size of a loaf of bread, but that thing had 100 watts. It was solid state. But man, that thing could stomp. Had a really good reverb sound too. I'm old. Do you count Santana or ZZ Top or Creedence in your music? I like them. I like ZZ Top. CCR is good. Snorlord is very late on his comment. Says nailed it. I'm all the way to the end, unless I'm missing something. He made his delivery. Says Celtic Barb. It is his first winter out on his own. Last year he was still training. What do you require when you hire a new band member? Technique, talent, or experience? Chemistry. Alex, it's chemistry. They can't use drugs. Nobody in the band, not even smoking pot. Like as far as like social drinking, the wife and I are the only ones that drink. Well, no, her drummer drinks too, but there's no drugs, there's no, and there's got to be chemistry with like Willie and I, the other guitar player, we get along really well. We're on the same page on a lot of music. When he was in Apnea, I think that was Apnea's best music. The guy that replaced him, he was more heart than talent, and sometimes heart comes a long way. There are guitar players that we would try out that could play circles around me, but yet we didn't gel together, or they had trouble coming to practice, or they just, had a different music vision. It's almost like you're painting a picture, right? And and you're like, okay, this is going to be a mountain, this is going to be a sun, and then someone goes, well, put a cloud right here, and you don't want a cloud right there. You gotta find people that you kind of agree with, and and a lot of guys that can't do that, they just become the bosses of the band and basically tell everybody what to do, and I'm not like that. Thanks for saying that. All makes it all worth it, more than the trophies it's won or the mags it's been featured in, just to have someone say something. Right. Well, dude, it's a nice truck. I'm sure Prime is pretty proud of that truck. I hope Syracuse isn't loaded with snow. I'm heading there tomorrow. Well, ask Yukon. That's where he's living right now. Kaislin. Alex, what if new band member has good chemistry but lacks good performance? That's happened, Alex, and that's a hard decision to make. Sometimes you just have to let people go. That was more of a problem a while back, but it's not a problem now. Can't make the practice. My girlfriend's parents are taking us out for dinner. And that's the thing, guys. The current band that I'm in, they understand my job. They understand my life. Willie's got other projects. Our drummer, Skip, he's got other projects. He owns a leather wallet making business. And they have their own projects. Of course, my wife's busy with the kids and everything else at the house. We haven't practiced in like 4 months. But I guarantee the next time I'm home on a Sunday and we can practice, it's like we hadn't left. That's the level of musicians that I'm jamming with right now. And that's chemistry. That's there's no egos, there's no like looking over the shoulder when they mess up. It's a very laid back situation. So, Clyde Garland, what's up? Happy birthday, Clyde. So, and the new band is not death metal, guys. It's more along the lines of, say, like Sabbath or Crowbar, something like that. It's my death metal days, even though I love playing and listening to death metal, those days are basically over. If you check out Frog Leap Studios on YouTube, he does metal covers for all kinds of songs. Anthony, I do follow Frog Leap. He's pretty cool. Do you guys fight like Skinner if the other guy plays the chord wrong? No, we're not like that, Eric Vaquero. There was a time where I was kind of an a-hole to be in a band with. That was back in the early 90s. It was back when I didn't have family. I didn't have, even a girlfriend. It was all about the music. And I was an a-hole. I was hard to work with. And over the years, I've learned to just to chill out, And hold on. And it's all about just the music, man. So Keith James says, Wolf, if there's a driver out there that wouldn't love your ride, they're fibbing. Right. I like the lights, man. I need lights for my truck. I got passed by a truck tonight. He had really cool lights on his truck. He has brights on too, but that's a different story. Have you ever had female musicians in your band like Prince did? My wife plays bass for us, Alex. If you remember the 60s, you weren't there. And then back in the late 90s, I was in a death metal band. We had a female death metal drummer. She was good. Next to Flying J is a bar or restaurant called Skinner, says CPAP. Who's a YouTuber that's really good guitar player is Dooner Livingston. He's a really good. He brings a guitar with him on the road, I believe. He's really good. He listens to everything from outlaw country to metal. He blows me out of the water too. So one of these days I'll do a live feed from band practice. But hopefully we'll be recording soon. A lot of the local bands are asking us to play these gigs, and we're just not ready yet. So I like how some of my live feeds turn into a music asking session, and I appreciate that, guys. Rick Jones says that would be great. Yeah. Well, I've done it on Periscope, and I've done it on Facebook Live. There was one time where I think I did it on Periscope and Willie did it on Facebook Live, and we did that. But I haven't, this is before I could do YouTube Live. So the trolls will come in and throw insults. Let me know when you have a show, Snore. I would like to show some support. All right, Big Rich. Have you ever watched any of the rig rundown videos on YouTube? No, not really, Air Vaquero. I'm not really a gearhead. I just know what I like and what I do. I thought it'd be cool. Eskimo Sean, he's one of the original YouTubers. That's what he does now, is he's a truck driver for a touring company. And he and I got to hang out one time, and he told me some interesting stories, and that would be a cool gig for trucking, but you're just never home. That's the only reason why I don't do that, because I would love to do one of them tours. Ace says that'd be awesome to hear you play live. There was one live feed where I did play guitar, just by myself. Big Rich says, you wouldn't mind if I showed up wearing a Borat-esque Speedo, would you? Big Rich, you can wear whatever you want, dude. I've seen some things. The local metal shows, there's been some interesting things that have happened. So, Snorla, don't let someone post the truth on your live feed. I put the truth and bring it, the uneducated, the BS into your live feeds. Nailed it. I don't have any issues with you whatsoever at all. I don't. What age did you realize music was it? Says Alex. I don't know, probably when I was 7 or 8. My dad was in a country band back in the day, and he played the local bar and let me sing a few songs. My first song I ever sang live was On the Road Again by Willie Nelson. And but my dad wasn't a musician per se. He just did it as a hobby. And I don't know how to read music. I know how to tune a guitar. My daughter's really getting heavy into music. She's got a recital coming up in December. This is December. In a week or so, that I'm going to try to be home for. She's learning to read music. She's learning to sing. She's in this awesome choir at school. I wish I had the guitar skills to play just anything. But I don't. I'm just a one-trick pony. It's cool to see other people's instruments and amp setups. Yeah, Air Vaquero, if I go out and check out a band, I want to see what's giving them their sound. And I'd be curious to see, and what's interesting is that Crowbar, I love Crowbar's sound, but you go look at their amp setup and it's pretty simple. It's pretty, it's not like a bunch of effects and everything. Nailed says Jeff does. I'm not going to change into troll. TC is my issue. Nailed it. You're not alone on that. The problem is, nailed it, no one seems to care about Jason as much as you do, man. Who cares what stupid crap he says? You give his crap too much of your attention. I'll be back for the trucking topic, says Brett. Wife's family's musical. She had relatives that was in the Ike and Tina Turner band and the original Gap band. That's cool. Let's talk about YouTubers, okay? Let's talk about YouTubers for a second. If there's a YouTuber that you don't like, ignore them. If there's somebody like musician, talk about music, talk about, protesters, if there is somebody that you don't like, the more people that would ignore them, then they won't have any power. No, it's all right, Neil. We'll talk about this for a second here. Like, okay, so let's go to. Yeah, I'm trying to do this without insulting any other YouTubers, because I'm not about that. I try to be more positive, Truckers Coach does his thing, SoCal does his thing, and I really don't agree with either one of them. And I have nothing against either one of them, and they've both made good points, SoCal made a good point about the more success we are at trucking, the more freedom you have. TC is honestly trying to help people. It's just how he goes about it, but like the whole Matt and Will thing, I really don't follow a lot of the drama stuff because it doesn't interest me. Now, that video that Matt was doing earlier about he doesn't really want to be friends with Will, in some ways it's kind of like As the World Turns, and it can be somewhat interesting, but I don't lay awake at night going, oh man, I wonder why Matt and Will aren't getting along now, man. It's something kind of funny that we talk about, like if I call Pale Rider or Burger or Jeffrey Like, we kind of joke about that kind of stuff, but for the most part, like Sinister, he's a good YouTuber. I've watched a few of his videos, but I don't watch him consistently, so if he does something that blows other people away, it's my world, it's just regular. If you don't want to give people power, don't give it to them. Don't even give them a thumbs down. I don't, like Dread Pirate Trucker. I mean, look at that dude. Look at the comment section in his videos. I mean, people are just brutal, man. But it's like, why subscribe to someone that just annoys you? It's like 404 Trucker Dave. He did that video about the hands-free thing, or about distracted driving, and to me it seemed like I don't know, he called out a bunch of YouTubers in an indirect way, and that's not the first time he's done something like that. He did the whole Bill Hunter as Trucker Logic, and it's like his YouTube channel has no content, and all he's trying to do is create drama. In my view, in my eyes, he's trying to create drama so people will come to his channel. Well, if you have no content, then people aren't going to stay. He did a really good, but we all have our faults. And 404 Dave had a really good video about contracts. That was a good video. And I told him, these are the kind of videos you need to do. But then he went on and did the whole, and I understand his motivation about the distracted driving, but when you call YouTubers out by their names, I thought that was kind of lame. And, but I don't, it doesn't matter to me. It's all digital noise. Steve Berger and I were talking about this earlier. YouTube has turned into the big truck stop counter. That's all it is. There's a lot of people that disagree with all of us. I get at least 2 or 3 thumbs down on every video, especially when I go live. There's someone that doesn't like my live videos. And my notifications thing is going off all the time, and it's hard for me to keep track. So, I like Kevin and Ollie's channel because I like the footage of Ollie, and Kevin's a good guy, and he's funny sometimes. Jeffrey Like is informational. A lot of people say Red Viking Trucker is informational, but I don't watch him. Nothing against the guy, but, I watched a couple of his videos, and I was like, okay, whatever, and it's not a big deal. I'm sure he doesn't stay up at night going, oh man, Snarler doesn't watch my videos. He doesn't care. Matt and Will don't care if I watch them or not. So, and, so if there's a YouTuber that you think is putting out bad information, maybe warn people of them, but at the same time, I just, it's kind of like the Westboro Baptist Church group, just ignore them and they'll go away. And, the smart people will see through the issues, and the blind people will still follow. Who am I to tell Coach how to run his video when he's got like 3 times the subscribers that I do? Because what he does not affect me. At least you talk to people outside of YouTube, though. So I try. I really try, but it's getting a little bit harder and harder. I've gotten a couple of Snyder ICs that are like, they've called me once and then they don't call me anymore, so I don't know if I took them off or whatever. So you didn't have a family member to bury you to bury in your life. This was brought up before, but a lot of us wind up watching the same streams, especially non-dramatic channels. Trolls don't count. Let's see. Let me go back to comments here. I only watch, CPAP says I only watch Snyder YouTubers because I work under their authority, and very few select other YouTubers. Big Rich is cool. Big Rich is cool. Big Rich says, that's me, Snore. I give you thumbs down to keep you humble. The old CB channel says, Ira, yeah. Yeah, see, guys, I try to find the positives in everybody's videos. I did that why I don't like Jeffrey Like video to get attention. Haha, says Big Rich. Agent Orr says, if you don't like him, just leave him alone. Just like a band. We were talking about bands. If there's a band you don't like, just don't buy their stuff, man. Yeah, the drama gets ridiculous at times, but I never lose any sleep over it. Guys, I'm going to tell you something. When you hear me say the phrase, it's interesting to me, that's usually me laughing at the digital noise. Like, Matt was doing a video about how he doesn't want to be friends with Will now, okay? This has been an ongoing thing for 5 years. We're friends. No, we're not. We're friends. No, we're not. And then, do you remember that all the YouTubers that did videos saying, hey, we don't want you coming to GATS? And it's like, who cares? It's making a mountain out of a molehill. It's like, why do I care if Matt and Will are friends? it's funny to watch. You know, when Matt did his little rant about Ike, that was kind of funny. And when Ike does his parodies, it's funny. You know, I don't think it's funny when Will curses in front of his kid. But, you know, but that's just me. You know, that's just, you know, whatever. You know, I don't... You know, I just do my thing, you know, and people appreciate my YouTube channel. Like Pale Rider TV, man, he doesn't get involved in any of this. You know, he and I were at GATS and we were talking to everybody. And that's it. There was, you know, the guys with egos at the 73 Lounge, I didn't care about that. I didn't treat them like royalty. I didn't like, oh man, you know, I can't believe I'm hanging out with so-and-so. You know, it was just like, hey, man, check it out. I'm, you know, here at 73 Lounge. The 73 Lounge was a place for me to kind of chill and rest my feet because I bought bad shoes. And we all have our own thing, you know. And Thor did a video recently of showing all of us, showing all the YouTubers that, you know, he watched. And it was a good video. And you know, and then Tex Crowley used to have a website dedicated to nothing but people that put up trucking content on YouTube. And we're all in the same gang kind of mentality, you know, and it's like professional wrestling, you know. It's fun to watch, but I don't really get involved in it. I don't really just obsess over it. It's too much wasted energy. But, you know, worrying about if Will and Matt are friends or what happened 4 years ago or, you know, this group doesn't like that group, you know, that doesn't interest me because it's all noise. Like, you know, you should see me look at Facebook, man. I'm scroll. Oh, that's funny. Like, scroll. You know, it's like, I don't get passionately involved in any of these channels. You know, there was the one time where I was, you know, I made some comments about Coach while he was in my feed about the way he was delivering his message. But at the same time, I've been in his live feeds. Hell, I called his little show. And of course, I thought that was disastrous on my end. But for the most part, you know, I try to be informative. I try to be cool. I try to put out this positive vibe. I try to be entertaining. You know, my live feed that I did last Saturday with Pale Rider, that was funny. That was something that was, you know, we're making light of everything that's going on. Everybody's got a radio call-in type show now, and we were making light of that. We were making light of Cannell's chip challenge, you know, and Cannell took it well. I talked to him the other day, and he thought it was funny, and I didn't. But you noticed I didn't use Cannell's name because some of these guys try to do parodies, or they'll bring up someone's name to try to get views on their channel, and I think that a lot of smart people see right through that. So I'm behind on comments, guys. Forgive me. I didn't know who any of you YouTubers were 7 months ago, says CPAP. Has anyone ever thought it's all rigged? Everquare, I've brought that up before. You know, wouldn't that make sense? Really? Wouldn't it? I've heard that rumor before. I like your channel. We can just BS. Battleborn. Yeah, right. You know, Thor has that approach with his live feeds. It's just kind of like an open-ended chat. Like we're at the truck stop counter, right? Big Rich says my next live video will be naked. Then you'll be banned from YouTube there, sir. Ms. Trucker's, you know, I ignore the drama and video warfare. Just watch something else till the thing, whatever it is, blows over. Right. And it's always something. Right? What was it a year ago, guys? What were we all arguing about a year ago? Do you remember? Did it change the world? Did it change the trucking industry? No. TC will say he is a Marine. TC held his Flag in front of the White House. A Marine doesn't just hold a rifle. Nailed it. I know what you're saying about Trucker's Coach. He's playing the Marine card quite a bit. But that's his thing, man. It is what it is. I hate saying that. I hate that saying, but whatever, Berger was the first, says CPAP. I've known him for a year and a half so far, and then Berger told me about Snowlord, then McGee told me about some others. Yeah, but CPAP, I see you in all the live feeds. You're not part of the drama, but you're definitely interested in it. McGee and I went to orientation together, says CPAP. Anthony says, first trucker I subbed to was Trainer James. See, I don't even know who Trainer James is. I'll give out some ice cream scoops for those who watched the Naked Live video. Big Rich, you're weird. You do a good job, but positive is the only way to go. And there's a lot of YouTubers that are talking about positivity and positive energy now. And I like to think that maybe I contributed to that, Matt Schmidt, Fat Daddy 1273. Interesting name. I live in Albany, Georgia. Is there any good freight lanes close to me or through Albany, Georgia if I become an IC with Snyder? Well, let's look. Let's look here. Where's my tablet? Let's look at the load board for you there, Fat Daddy. Since we do still talk about trucking stuff. Speaking of which, Ike did a Snyder video last night. He brought up some good points, but then people were like, Snowlord, you need to leave Snyder. You need to leave. Like, why do you guys care where I'm at? Why do you guys care who I work for? Let's see here. Albany, Georgia. Let's see. Albany, GA. Okay, within a 145-mile radius for the next 2 weeks in Albany, Georgia, there is 184 loads going everywhere. Virginia, Wisconsin, North Carolina, Laredo, Virginia. There's a lot of loads that go from the Carolinas to Georgia, Kentucky, Florida. So yeah, that's a good area. If I go to Atlanta, I don't worry about getting out of there because I know that's a good area. So I hope that answers your question, Matt. So I've had my speaking privileges revoked by Jay a couple of times, but jokingly, right? Says Anthony. What are you guys talking about? You guys are weird. Yeah, the drama gets old. Same thing over and over, guys. Yeah. Yeah, Daniel, I agree. I talk that way to my son, says Celtic Barb. Now he challenged me when I am not positive. CPAP is right. The way you guys promote each other is impressive, says Air Vaquero. Gotta go call the sun. Bye, guys. Bye, Truck and Review. Yeah, Matt. Georgia is a good place for an IC in Snyder. A lot of loads coming in and out of Georgia and the Carolinas. We got the headquarters there in Charlotte. I-77 is a good lane. And Yeah, Atlanta's a hot market. Ms. Trucker, good night. Yeah, I'm probably going to end this here pretty soon. It seems like my live feeds go about an hour, and then that's about it. I was surprised it lasts this long, so I don't have the best signal here. I couldn't go live last night because the signal in London, Ohio just is sketchy. But, guys, I'm into the positive stuff, you know. I'm not saying I'm perfect, you know. There was, you know, if I see something I don't like, I'm going to do a video about it. I'm fixing to do a video about distracted driving myself. The holding the phone in your hand, it's getting to be too much, guys. You know, companies like KLM and Schneider have rules about using the phone at all because of the stupid crap that we're doing. And so there's going to be a video about that. I can't tell you how many times a day I look at a truck in front of me and he's weaving all over the road. I'll turn on the GoPro real quick just in case he does something really stupid. And, you know, when I pass him, he's got his phone in his hand. He's like doing this, or he's doing this, or he's doing this, you know. The smart ones will put the phone down while I'm passing them. You know, that way, you know, because if you're going to look down and you know you're going to weave, then you don't want to do it next to another truck. So, Weird Race says, I see some good and off videos from YouTubers. If you've seen enough of their videos, not all, but enough, you can tell when what they are doing is more to gain views, repeat views over normal vids. Here's the thing. There are some YouTubers that base their content on analytics. And when you do that, that's like writing music for money. In my eyes. Like, I do monetize my videos. I do make a little bit of money for the monetization on the ads. However, that's not my motivation. I wasn't making money when I first started doing this. I don't do it for Schneider referral bonuses. I don't do it for recognition or fame. I do it as an outlet, and I do it to bring, you know, if I can help new drivers coming into the game with either a positive mental attitude or some information, then that makes the industry better, and that's why I do this. And my channel has grown very well in the last 2.5 years. And it's awesome. I love it. But it's not... I like analytics. You know, it's like I'm smart enough to sit there, you know, like I was talking to another YouTuber that does Schneider videos. And I said, you need to put Schneider in your titles so people will find you. And, you know, and I said, that'll get you more views. And he's like, okay, that's a good idea. And Asian My Show, we love you. Thanks, Asian My Show. Asian My Show's got a really good channel. He's got some positive, uplifting stuff too. Hashtags will do it too, right? But got an itch. Back scratcher is an essential part of a truck driver. You gotta have a back scratcher. Always. You can grab stuff with it. You can scratch your back with it. You can beat up people with it. This is the best tool that you can have in your truck. I try to be funny, guys. I try to be goofy. But I also try to be serious, too. Because, you know, you can't always be serious. You can't always be joking. How many times have you been passed by somebody doing makeup, reading a book, and eating spaghetti? I've never been passed by someone eating spaghetti ever, Quero. Shadow Wolf, I'm all about sharing info in the industry for real stuff, no BS, helping other drivers in the new ones. There you go, Shadow Wolf. You put Schneider in the search bar on YouTube and crap ton videos pop up. Right, Anthony. And that's how my channel first grew, is I was one of the only guys doing Landstar stuff. You had like 2 other drivers doing Landstar stuff. Ian Hanna was featured in a Tex Crowley video. He pulled all of his Landstar videos down. And then I'm trying to remember the name of the other guy that was doing them, but he kept quitting, and he doesn't work for Landstar anymore. So I was it. So if you wanted to know anything about Landstar, I was the guy to talk to. And had we had YouTube Live back then, I probably would have double the subs now, because people could have asked me questions about Landstar. And so the Schneider thing, a lot of people are curious. We have a good program. We have choose your own freight. How many times have you been ticked off at your dispatcher? Well, there's none of that here. We have other headaches. Don't get me wrong. It's not all rainbows and ponies here, But at the same time, there's a lot of BS I don't have to put up with. And I've got the freedom. I got freedom here. Schneider doesn't care. If I don't work for 3 weeks, they don't care. I mean, I'll be charged insurance those weeks, but life is good drives for Landstar. Yeah, there's more Landstar videos now, but when I first started, there wasn't. Agent Mai did a good Landstar interview. Yeah, he used to drive for Landstar. Kazel says, that's it. I'm going to do videos about Swift. Pause this video. Well, Swift, see, Swift is like, you know what? If you do YouTube videos, we don't want you. We don't want you driving for us. They have flat out said that. Bigger says, that's how I found you, Snores, through your Landstar videos. Yeah, and I regret not keeping them up. And there were a lot of guys that did not like my Landstar videos. They thought that I was going about it all wrong. There was one guy that said I was one breakdown from becoming a company driver, that kind of thing. And you got to have a thick skin to do videos. You really do. Even if you don't ruffle feathers, somebody's going to find something negative to say. Rick Jones says, I'm all over the road trying to scratch my back of the seat. Back scratcher, man. Alex Express says, I'm at Swift. Got to be careful. Alex, I have no issues with Swift. Yeah, you got to be careful with your videos. Landstar Blues and Pilot Sucks. I think that was my first video. Yeah, that's not really even a Landstar video, really, Rich. That was, what was I talking about? I was talking about some negative stuff that was going on at Landstar. And Pilot does suck. Oh, there goes my Pilot endorsement deal. That's how you found me. Yeah, I put see, I'm smart enough. I put Landstar in the title because I knew it'd get hits. I knew it'd get people in here. When I first came over to Schneider, I was labeling the videos Pumpkin Life because Landstar was Landstar Life. And Pumpkin Life just didn't do well. I look back, and anything I label Pumpkin Life, no one cares. I think the company that I pull for keeps a close eye on us YouTubers. They have their ways, if you catch my drift. Shadow Wolf, we do too. And you got some very prominent YouTubers over there too. So that's a big part of it. Here you had Jeffrey Like, you had Ike Stevens. Those were the two big ones. And they're both not here anymore. So Steve Berger and I and Kristen Trucker and a couple others, we've kind of taken over on that. And then on the company side, you got Alaskan Cowboy, and you've got My Truckin' Life Ace, who was going from company to the IC side. And they're doing videos, they're doing content, Bigger says, dude, the owner of the company I'm leased to is literally the coolest. I shot my guns at the shop. Indiana Jack should be sponsored by Starbucks, says Anthony. Look how Knight embraced the social media platform. Look how well Travel Loco's doing with all the free publicity they get. So that there is a place for us. But see, Ike and I were talking about this, and Pale Rider have talked about this. At GATS, there are people that live vicariously through us. They can't drive a truck for one reason or another, or they're thinking about driving a truck, or they used to drive a truck. They're interested in the crap that we're doing. They're interested in the driving down the road footage. They're interested in the inside the truck cab tour. They're interested in showing me drop and hook a trailer because they can't do it. It's interesting. Look at Ice Road Truckers. It's the #1 rated show on the History Channel. People are curious about it. And the more stuff that we can do on YouTube that shows us in a positive light, the better. And that's the other thing about negativity, guys. If we're constantly, showing the world about pee bottles and bad traffic and bad attitudes, well, yeah, no one's going to like us. No one's going to care. So, that's just part of it. But, a lot of people gravitate towards negativity. So maybe that's what people want. They want to see us fighting. They want to see us arguing against each other. What do they do at Ice Road Truckers? They got to have this competition of how many loads they're doing. They got to put drama into it. So I hate swearing. I read on the groups and nasty arguments. Yeah. But guys, this video's gone on too long. I appreciate the input. This has been a good discussion. And Weird Racist says, yeah, YouTube is open to the world, so you will get every sort of person viewing. So if you can't take bad feedback besides good, you need thick skin. So, and that's true. Have to watch what you do and say in more ways than one. You don't know who's watching and what their mindset is. Right. So, right, Shadow Wolf. Companies are more worried about bad press, says Rick Jones. Yeah, they are. Daniel says, keep it up. Enjoy the videos. Have a good night. Daniel, I'm going to call you tomorrow. Air Vaquero, later Snorlord. Anthony, I've gotten a lot of friends wanting to know more about trucking because I post good and bad about trucking on my Facebook. Right, Anthony, if you're just real, I think that's what I look for. I'm not going to sit here and paint roses and butterflies and unicorns, but at the same time, it's not all bad out here. It really isn't. Trucking is like life, man. It's whatever you make of it. That's the bottom line. If you look at trucking as a curse, it's going to be a curse. If you look at it as a blessing, it's going to be a blessing. Go to bed with those words. See ya.